Hello and welcome to For Pete's Sake, a new video series where I will be delving into my dad's record collection as a way to remember him and also to kind of get to know him perhaps in a way that I didn't before. My dad passed away in November 2018 from lung cancer, and we were very close, and music was something that always kind of bonded us together. So this episode will be a little bit longer than the other episodes because I'm going to introduce the concept and the format as well as talk about the first record that I have chosen. So basically, when my dad died, he left 47 LPs behind, which have been subsumed into my own collection. So what I'm going to do is each episode will be a different record from my dad's record collection that I'm going to choose at random. Some of them that I already know really well, and some of them that I've never heard before at all. As I say, the purpose of this is to I've wanted to put something tangible together that works as a memorial. And I didn't really know what to do. I've been kicking ideas around, but this seemed like the most fitting way. So just a bit of history about kind of music and why it was important in our household growing up. So we had downstairs, we had three rooms, the front room, the kitchen, and what we call the little room, which was just a room that had one of those tiered stereo systems with the vinyl player, CD player, cassette deck, and some of them had a radio, some of them had a graphic equalizer. Ours had a radio, and that was in there, and there was a gas fire and a telephone on a table because it was the olden days. All those things are gone now. My mum still lives in that house, but all the things I've mentioned that are in that room are now gone. Those tiered systems that everyone had in the 90s, you don't see them much anymore. It's unusual thinking back that people had, and we did as well in our house, records, cassettes and CDs all kind of at the same time, and sometimes you'd have the same album across multiple different formats and sometimes you only have them on one, but that was pretty normal. But we would sit in that room essentially just to listen to music. There wasn't a television in there or anything like that, there was no books in there. We would sit in there and listen to music. So it's those memories that I'm kind of harking back to, initially childhood memories, but also later when me and my dad were old enough to have a drink together, and music was one of the main things that we would talk about, kind of music, film, TV, football, that kind of thing, usual stuff. So for this first episode, I have kind of cheated a little bit because I wanted to pick something that I was on solid ground with rather than just a random album. So I've chosen one this weekend, but it will be random going forward after this one. So the first record that I have chosen then is All Mod Cons by The Jam. So this was The Jam's third album, released on the 3rd of November 1978. So the day after my dad's birthday, on the 2nd of November. I wonder if you got it as a birthday present. It is the original. I don't know if you have first editions for records, but it is whatever the equivalent is of a first edition for vinyl. It's got the date stamp 1978 on it. So I'm just going to start off by talking a little bit about the sleeve. So All Mod Cons, it's a joke, isn't it? Because all mod cons means all modern conveniences, and they're in an empty room with no modern conveniences. It's a wonderful jape. What is more funny perhaps is this gentleman's haircut, if you can see that, combined with the white suit jacket. It's a bold look. He's a maverick. This is in pretty good condition. You can see there is some kind of staining in the top corner there. It could be coffee, it could be Guinness, probably the latter, knowing my dad. But other than that, to say how old it is, it's not in too bad shape. And if we open the inner sleeve, you can see here that you've got all the you've got kind of different mod jam paraphernalia here. Just a bunch of different stuff really, ticket stubs, Union Jack badges. That's the kind of iconography that the mod movement was very fond of. Vinyl up there, that kind of stuff. And then on this side, you have got the lyrics to all the songs. And that's something that I kind of miss about physical media, is kind of poring over the lyrics sat in my bedroom, whether that be the booklet of a CD or the little kind of fold out pamphlet kind of thing you'd get with cassettes. Many happy hours spent reading lyrics when I probably should have been talking to girls, but not to worry. And then if we take the vinyl out, it's not in bad condition. It's quite smudged, but it's not scratched or anything. And you can see you've got the mod symbol in the middle there, obviously very synonymous with the Jam. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the album before I talk about my dad's relationship to it. It's my favourite Jam album by quite some way, and even though my dad he's got 3 albums by the Jam in this collection of 47 LPs. The other ones are, I think, Sound Effects and That's Entertainment. I can't remember him ever playing those, but he played this one all the time. And it is a really fantastic album. Highlights for me: To Be Someone, Didn't We Have a Nice Time, in brackets, which is kind of it's strange because their second album had not done well, and there were real fears that if this album, the third album, didn't perform, then that would be the end of the Jam. So this song, To Be Someone, is kind of someone looking back on their fame and how they kind of already passed it, which is funny really, because when you think about the career that Weller went on to have, it's interesting that he was kind of writing these kind of introspective, kind of navel-gazy songs at this point in his career. It's a great song. And then track 4, you've got David Watts, which is a Kinks cover. And you can really hear in that song the kind of lineage from the Kinks to the Jam to Blur. These songs about people, about kind of lower working middle class men, and the characters that you meet in that sphere and their insecurities and the way they take it out on society around them and all that kind of stuff. Also the undertones as well. It reminds me of stuff like My Perfect Cousin or Jimmy Jimmy, that kind of thing. And then the final 2 songs on the album, you've got A Bob in Water Street, which is the song that's kind of most like the first 2 Jam albums. It's very spiky and aggressive, snarling lyrics from Weller, but very good. And then Down in the Tube Station at Midnight, which is my favourite song on this album, and perhaps my favourite song, my favourite Jam song in general. It's just brilliant. Lyrically, it's very prescient, very timeless. He talks about bumping into someone on the tube. He said he smelled of pubs and wormwood scrubs and too many right-wing meetings. Sadly prescient. But also musically it's quite of its time. Not dated, but you can tell the time period that it's from, that kind of post-punk era. But it is quite sophisticated. The bass is great. The kind of introduction's built around the bass line and the hi-hat on the drums, which combine really nicely. Weller's on top form, both in terms of his guitar and also his lyrics. It's a band firing on all cylinders. Really, really good. Really, really good stuff. It was universally praised at the time. The NME ranked it number 2 in their end-of-year list of the best albums of 1978, behind Bruce Springsteen's Darkness on the Edge of Town. Peaked at number 6 in the album chart, so a huge success, and it revitalised the band's career and kind of formed the bedrock for everything that would come afterwards for the Jam. But I remember, my memories of this album are my dad singing along to it too loud, really, on the sofa. And he would often sing louder when my mum came in the room to antagonise her. Particularly if she was trying to tell him something, he would just sing at her, which me and my brother thought was hilarious. But yeah, this is one I can really picture him kind of sat, legs crossed, roll up in hand, eyes closed, just singing along to the songs on this album. He was a big fan of this one. He really loved it. So as I say, this episode has been a bit longer than the other ones will be. Frighteningly dull, I imagine. So I can only apologise for how long I've been rambling on for. But what I want the other episodes to be is kind of a similar thing, but kind of delving deeper into hopefully unlocking some things that I might have forgotten. And this episode has done that. It's helped me to reflect on some times that I haven't thought about for a long time, which has been nice. So to end off, I want to do a couple of things. So one of those things is, I thought it'd be interesting to juxtapose my own record collection with my dad's records. I thought that would make for an interesting contrast. So I thought I'm going to pick something at random out of my own kind of record collection to talk about, but only briefly, just 30 seconds to a minute. So I thought this would be quite a timely one. This is a 12-inch promotional copy of the classic Oasis B-side Acquiesce, still in its cellophane wrapper. So while I was looking through my records to try and find something to talk about, I came across this one. And I was intrigued, not just because of the Oasis kind of reunion tour and the timeliness of it, but also because I have got absolutely no memory of buying this whatsoever. So it wasn't gifted. I must have bought it at some point, but I can't remember doing that. I can't remember where it would have been, or when, or how much. But it's now quite a collector's item. It's going, the cheapest one I saw on eBay was for £96. I definitely wouldn't have paid more than, 20 quid, I imagine. I can't see myself ever parting with more than £20 for a 12-inch record with one song on it. But yeah, it's kind of just appeared in my collection almost by magic. I don't really know where it's come from, but it's lovely to have it there. So there you go. And then finally, just to finish off, I am going to choose the next album to talk about on camera, so we can all see what it's going to be. I've made this kind of list here. This is using an app that is called Tiny Decisions, and it's free, and you can input all the stuff you want to choose, and then you press this and it will spin this wheel and it will pick one at random, which I'm going to do now. I will say that I'm not really a Bob Marley fan. There are 7 Bob Marley records out of the 47 that my dad has, so there's going to be quite a lot of Bob Marley talk. It's possible that I might do a couple and then take the rest off the list if I don't vibe with them, but we will see. Anyway, without further ado, interesting, JJ Cale Troubadour. So straight away I am presented with an album that I have never heard a single song off. I don't know anything about JJ Cale, I don't know anything about this album, so that promises to be interesting. Lovely. Right, thanks for watching. Sorry it's gone on for so long. Let me know in the comments is what they say, I think, about what you think about the jams or modcons, and about anything at all, any memories that you want to share about anything really. Any likes or comments or anything would be appreciated. Thank you.